Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Elko193's very first Duel vlog. In this Duel vlog, I'm going to talk about my tournaments. After my exams were over, I've decided to finally start making tournaments, because I've wanted to do them for a long time. I've had a lot of ideas, but to get used to how the system works, I decided to start off with a basic, single-elimination, 16-people tournament. And so I did. I started the tournament, had 16 people enter, including myself. I will be joining my own tournaments, so that's one spot less than the maximum. And, well, we got going. It was very simple, current ban list, no card restrictions, so as some people stated, there's going to be a lot of Prophecy and Dragon Ruler and everything, because that's pretty much the top tier at the time. There was one Prophecy deck and one Dragon Ruler deck. There were like 4 Evil Swarms, from which one was a Dino Swarm variant, and quite a few fun decks as well that I really wanted to see, but unfortunately some didn't make it very far. I'm going to give you a short overview of this tournament, and then give you a preview of the next one. Now, the tournament page, I have it right here. I had it started out with just, it's time for action, short introductory thing. I wanted to have a card there that would, like, to make the page look nicer. And I decided to go with Shark-Eating Zombie Lobster Man, which was one of my self-created cards for Yu-Gi-Oh! Burst. Because then people might be like, what's that card? And then I would direct them to Yu-Gi-Oh! Burst, and that way I could technically get more people for Yu-Gi-Oh! Burst. So I'm probably going to keep doing that. Now, just the rules, sign-up page, everyone who entered, and all of the rules. And make sure you read all of them, because they're important. Yeah, also for the next tournament. Then, what I'm going to do with every tournament is the top 4, I'm going to show the deck lists. This was a very small tournament, so the top 4. In bigger tournaments, I'm probably going to do the top 8. Probably. Or even like, well, when we get to my second tournament information, we'll talk about that. Then, beneath here, I'll always have the link to the tournament bracket. Then the matchups of the current round typed in here as well, and when they're finished, the winner in green, the loser in red, with the score behind it. And after every round, I'll tell people who was knocked out in the round and what kind of deck they were running. Like, these people were knocked out in the first round. And unfortunately, I was among them. I decided to use my Umbralis Zale weapon deck, and I was facing a Hazy Flame deck that uses Stardust Assault, and it wasn't a deck that I found before. I sided into completely stop Stardust Assault, which worked in the end, but then I totally forgot about this other boss monster, which was Hazy Flame Basiltrice, and I lost, unfortunately. My first tournament, first round I lost. It was annoying, so hopefully I'll be able to get further in my next. And then, after the first round, it is known, would it have been a bigger tournament, what everyone is running, but I won't be stating, like, with each specific person who is doing it, but like, in the top 4, I would say this. The top 4 decks, or the top so many decks, or whatever, if it's like the top 16 for, like, a later tournament, once it's like single elimination, or double elimination. Well, probably even single. I'm not sure how to do with double yet, but then I'll have the top so many decks, everyone who remains, in random order, and show them here. So as you can see, the top 4 in my tournament were Dino Storm, Dragon Ruler, 6 Samurai, and Machina Gadget. And in the end, one person was disqualified in the semis, so he automatically lost the fight for 3rd place as well. This is by the way the challenge base. I use challenge to use everything. I want to do different kinds of tournaments. I did single elimination now. I want to do double elimination later. And then also round robin and Swiss. But the Swiss system on here is not a proper Yu-Gi-Oh! Swiss system. The Swiss system that they use at like YCS is quite different. So I'm going to really look into those specific rules on how Swiss works, and before I'm going to do it here, because I do want to do it properly, exactly how it could work there. So, this was a basic single elimination. Next tournament is going to be somewhat different, I suppose. Now, also something that I should mention, I have the top 4 deck lists here. Like, the 4th place deck, which was a 60 card 6 Samurai deck, he got disqualified in the semi-finals for being inactive, so automatically disqualified for another match. But Challenge still lists him as 4th place, so I'm gonna list him as 4th place still because he did reach the semis. And 3rd place, Draco Titan with Dinosaur, a very interesting deck. I had a I already had one, not even 2 Dino Rabbit decks, one without Macrocosmos and one with slightly different text in each. And I had an Evil Swarm deck, haven't used it in duel videos yet, but I actually took Draco Titan's deck, tested it, and used it in a duel video you saw recently. And 2nd place was Yu-Gi-Oh! 20 with Machina Gadget. He actually lost in round 2, but his opponent had an illegal deck list there, so I had to disqualify that opponent, unfortunately. So I suppose he was lucky there, and he moved on, and then even reached the finals, so he got 2nd place. Congratulations. And then 1st place, Danny Boy 3, my friend Danny, who used Dragon Rulers. And something else about the winner that is one of the main things I wish to talk about in this duel vlog. The winning deck list of the tournament is going to be used by me in a duel video, always. Unless there's something really weird going on with the deck list or with the tournament or with the person, I'm not really sure yet, but that's the plan. The #1 deck list will always be used by me in a duel video. So, Dragon Rulers aren't exactly like a deck request, but something similar that Dragon Rulers can do, which I'm going to use Dragon Rulers for, are part of a deck request. Like, it's based on a specific Xyz monster, and Dragon Rulers help with that. I'm not going to spoil everything, but my own version of the Dragon Rulers, I'm going to keep that for that deck request. But I'm going to use this one. But let's say I already have done a video with Gishki. Yeah. And then a Gishki deck would win. Then I wouldn't state it as the exact same deck. It would be specifically that person's Gishki. Like, this would be Dragon Rulers, but I would call it Danny's Dragon Ruler. Because it's Danny's specific deck list, because he won the tournament. And I'll probably place something in the title of that duel video as well, stating it was from that tournament. Same for the description. It'll just be, this was the tournament he won with this deck list. Alright, so Danny and everyone else look forward to seeing this deck in a duel video very soon. Now, for my next duel video, I mean tournament, what do I do? Well, since I'm not going to do Swiss, I had 2 choices. Well, a couple of choices. Just single elimination, just double elimination, or round robin. But let's say people wanted more entrants than 16, and I can understand that, because 16 isn't very much. So I was like, okay, I want more. But to throw everyone into one round robin group would be a lot. So that's what you use Swiss for, but I'm not going to do that. So what I'm thinking of is like 40 entrants, 8 groups of 5 people in round robin, who face each other off in round robin in their groups, and then the top 2 from each group moves on to the 2nd stage of the tournament. So that's 8 times 2, so 16 people, and then single elimination again from where we left off. Or double elimination, but since we already had an entire round robin part of the tournament, which already will have taken quite a while, I'm going to just go for single elimination for the 2nd stage of the tournament. And then my 3rd tournament, I'll have a double elimination with like probably 32 entrants. Depending on how things go. But I think 32 is a good thing, because I don't want to overflow my PM box that quick. Like, I'm going to wait with these really huge tournaments until I'm even more experienced with tournaments. So yeah, round robin is going to be the next, and single elimination after that. And once again, it is going to be, the winner will be featured in a duel video, just like Danny's Dragon Rulers will very soon. Furthermore, since this is a bigger tournament, there's 40 people instead of 16, I'm not going to just feature the top 4 deck lists over here, so you can just look at them and, if you wish, copy them and test them yourself. I'm going to do top 8, probably. Unless you guys have a suggestion and really want to see the top 16, like everyone who made it out of the groups. What I could also do is just do top 4, like over here, but then also everyone who won their own group, I suppose. Or when I do top 16, it's obviously going to be everyone who, well, won their own group. It's gonna be kind of confusing, huh? But I'll do it like with official soccer tournaments and many kinds of tournaments. Is that the winner from, let's say, Group A in round robin is going to be facing the second place from Group B. And let's say the first place from Group A wins. There's a chance that later on in the single elimination part, they'll face the second place from Group A. But that is only able to be happening in the finals, because they'll be placing the other half of the brackets. So I'm going to make sure that happens. But, of course, with everyone at the end of the tournament, I'll state, who won which group. Although that'll also be obvious from the first tournament bracket, because there will be 2 separate tournament brackets. One for the round robin and one for the single elimination. Although I might actually have to do 8 different round robins for the various tournaments, like Group A up to including H. I'm going to see how that works. Probably it's going to be like that, but tell me how many of the top deck lists you want to see. I did top 4 with 16 people. Now, if I do 40 with round robin, 8 groups, and the top 2 moves on, making for top 16 into single elimination, how many top deck lists do you want to see? I'm thinking 8, but if you really want it, I'll do 16, and then I'll just show the deck list just like I've done here. Danny's Dragon Rulers, Yu-Gi-Oh! 20's Machina Gadgets, Draco Titan's Dinosaur, and Deluxe Foster 6 Samurais. Now, what do you guys want me to do? Tell me in the comments. And for the rest, I hope you look forward to the next tournament and to the duel video using Danny's Dragon Rulers. See you then.